go again. So we're trying something new today. There we go. Stop the music. There we go. Yeah, and we've got something. Michael Frosty Frost has just followed the stream. Yeah, so we're trying something new today. We're trying a dual broadcast into Facebook as well. So I have no idea whether that's working or not. So I'm going to go and do a few. Andy Stubbs, good morning. We're going to have a whole bunch of likes and everything else going on because it's Facebook. All the little jingles. This may not be the best idea, but we'll soon find out. Now, so we're going to... Okay, right, yeah. So let's have a look at what's going on. Yeah, so Andrew, yeah, you're sending me a message. Let's actually see if it's actually live or not.
I can see you on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. I just wanted to refresh this page because it's not actually set up as a gaming page. And unfortunately, there's a spotlight.
You need... Let me look.
Probably under videos, see? Interesting. It's the fact that the video is actually not showing up there. So this might be just something. I sort of told it to go to this page here, but it's just not going to go to this page because this page is not set up. So this is the first trial. G'day, Go Hopping. How you doing? Yes, I told it to go to. Oh, really? I'm trying to work out what it's checking out there. It's checking out something. Yes, there's all the videos it's going to drive me nuts all day. What the hell's going on?
The Facebook link just took me to the YouTube video.
Did it? Yeah,
oh, there's a watch.
Michael was red. But yeah, so for some reason, I've selected to go. There's a highlight video there.
Yep, you've got Facebook Live working.
Have I? Where is the?
I had to go to your PopeKael Gaming is live now, playing ILF Thailand.
But that's what I told her to select a different game, so it's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be on my Facebook page. Alright, what the frick? Yeah, stupid piece of shit.
I'm just telling you what I'm saying.
That's all right. Well, I'm just looking at that as well, but I'm not looking at it as a... oh, really? Come on. It's driving me nuts. There's a zombie attack. Yeah, well, what's it from? I can't even see what it's coming from.
Unlikes you and likes you and unlikes you and likes you and unlikes you and likes you.
Yeah, but it's Creative Studio. I'm just trying to find where that video is. So there we go. So there's that video there. So I didn't tell it to go to that. I told it to go to the other Facebook page. I have no idea why it's decided to go to this page. Something I need to do some. I need to do some testing down there. So there. See, that's
what they call a smoke test.
Why it's decided to go to this page. And again, mute some stuff out there. Event logs, live service, studio, whatever. Yeah, so it's not supposed to be going to my gaming page. It's supposed to, really? Alert box. I can't see why it's being what the hell's going on there. I could always end the live video on that page there. Oh, really? Is it just bugged? Thomas Ogden, this is it's a lot of fun today. A lot of fun today. Okay, let's see if we can go.
Especially when it's right over your mouth, so it looks like you're eating him.
Yeah. I don't want to drop it out, but why is it So we're on multi-stream. This, of course, it's on multi-stream read only. YouTube multi-stream. Something's totally bugged up with it. So multi-stream's actually not working. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to go to the actual page. Why I can't actually see the thing. What's going on now, Dalla? I'm trying to work something out, but unfortunately I can't. There it is live now, but the actual page, and then I'm trying to mute that. But yeah, so there's only Thomas Ogden like that there. So why is that doing that? Why am I getting a constant barrage of follows? Well, of course I've got lots of people following the channel, but yeah. Yeah, it's not supposed to be going to this page. It's supposed to be going to a different page. So let me see if I can actually sort of can that and turn that particular feature off, because I really don't want to be going to that page. Yeah, create a studio. End that stream. What's happening? Unfortunately, I can't test this stuff out. You basically got to just eat humble pie and just hope for the best. And let's hope, that Streamlabs does all the things it's supposed to do. But for some reason, it's picking up all the likes I've had for the last week. And just hope for the best. And let's hope, that Streamlabs does all the things it's supposed to. End that. So I'm going to end that video because I don't want it there. That should disconnect it from that. Right. And we'll delete that video as well. No, and of course we've still got... I'll delete it later on. Yeah, so... this bloody thing is driving me absolutely nuts today. Maria Singh, so if I go to the full page there, Maria Singh, and that's a follow. So these are all the people who have followed my... Oh God, really? We're going to have to wait for all those follows? How many follows have there been since I launched, since last week? It's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying. Yeah, it was supposed to go to this page. I'm sorry, but what can I do? It's just misbehaving. Stop laughing. God, really? Where's it getting? Like seriously, if I had that many follows last week, I suppose there's probably 60, but why would it now decide to start playing this thing up?
You're just well liked.
Yeah. Anyway, Fidelity Quest to get this thing's just going to bug us until it catches up with everybody who's followed. It's not going to go through all 5,000, is it? Honestly.
That would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious, because I know like Michael Frosty 5. Okay, he's just subscribed 8 minutes ago. Right, and got that one there. So that might be the last one. I can see all the list. Finally, I think it's finished. Really? Okay, I can see all of them. They're all in the list here. Oh my God. Okay, I think it's finally caught up. Anyway, really, what a start to the day. Anyway, we've got 17 people watching me make a fool of myself on YouTube and partially on Facebook. Yes, I don't know why I didn't pick up the other channel. That's a bit weird. That should have gone to the other channel, which is not a gaming channel. I was trying to get the dual streaming to go to Facebook as well, but for some reason it didn't go there. It's not set up as a gaming channel for one, yeah, it's a bit weird. Anyway, so not to worry about that. We'll see if we can get better next week. I'll have to do a couple of offlines or hiddens and everything else and see if I can get the frickin' system working. Anyway, don't forget I've got a gaming page, right? I've just dressed up a little bit, so trying to reach the 100 followers. So if you're not following already, right, you need to get following this bloody page, guys. Right, Control C. Let me bring up the other window so I can actually copy it into the chat. So yeah, so there's my gaming page. You need to be following that. If you're not following that, well, there you go. What else is there? So yeah, don't forget look at Stephen usually does this for me. The Discord link. You want to come on and chat? There's the Discord link. What else is there? Bounce that one into there. Oh, well, I'm just going to do it. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Ready for anything happening up to. There's my Patreon. What else is there? Yeah, and of course you've got my Twitch. Look, all these links are down below. What else have we got? Okay, so where are we? I suppose we've wasted 10 minutes of the day already. Or 15. We'll take the 15 minutes. Let me minimise that.
It wasn't wasting. It was experimenting.
And experimenting, yes, as we do. Right. So, well, stuck in Florida. Good morning. Anyway, let's do a quick run through and to see what's going on in Thailand. Of course, I did a video.
Absolutely nothing.
We had the Back to the Markets After 8 Weeks video that came out last Sunday, I think it was. Or was it? Yeah, I think Saturday night when we went to the markets. I think I released it Monday, 4 days ago. It was 4 days ago. I think it's like 5 days ago. Anyway, so yeah, things are starting to get back to the new normal, which is fun. Chanya being herself and forgetting to take her mask out of the car when she would go out. Everybody else had got masks on and she forgot. Anyway, Colin in Thailand, there we have Hellfire Pass Museum, 4-kilometre walk along the track with his 360 camera. Always a bit of fun, that stuff. Dan in Thailand, Expat Explore, calling all travel operators and business in Thailand. Giving a shout out to travel operators. I'm probably trying to spruik some work there. I don't know. Where is she? She's vegan in Thailand. All about vegan and vegan in Thailand. She's a bit of a vegan fanatic. So yep. So she's going to give her 5 cents worth on the vegan diet. Not to sort of say it's all wrong or right. Personally, that's not for me. I like to eat meat. Anyway, Maggie's journey. Cooking can be messy. I guess it can be if you let kids do it. Shane Cashman. What has he got up there? Recent activities. Redcliffe Island. That's in Mackay. Okay. So the last one for that was some canned video from this end, I guess. Brian's Thailand. He's still building up there. Building the scenes and the making of 2 men in a boat. 2 men in a boat. Okay. Chuck, no time to be sad. I spent your money abroad. I spent your money bored with making videos. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever get bored of making videos. He enjoys making videos. I could not do the 1 day video a day thing. I can do a stream a day, gaming, but I couldn't do a video a day, honestly. Titastic, he's done there, sort of upload there. So what was that? Sunset Thailand, walk on the pier. That looks like it. Unplugged, Thailand Unplugged. More of his news articles. News from around Thailand, which he'll recap in his other channel. Bad Badger retired in Thailand. Update on next door's update on next. Do you call it update or is it update? It's one word, isn't it? Yeah. Update on next door's build. Right, so he's checking out the buildings for next door to him. Scuba Tom, good to see you joining us today. I'm trying to get back. I'm close on my home. I close on my home. Oh, you close. Oh, you sell in the home. Okay. Now I just have to sit around and wait for things to open. I think you can come, but it's quite a bit of an ordeal to actually get a plane into Thailand. There are special circumstances, but I think the regular public can't get there. Anyway, so uploads. What's he got? Vietnam, old dog. So that was from 9 hours ago. He's done a Vietnam video. Our friend Pancake Lens. Bit of a walk around there. Where is it? It's Narrabri in England. All these people are going to be really so glad to get back, I'm sure. Having to film their home country is terrible, isn't it? Beauty and the East, things to do in Chanthaburi, Thailand. Some nice beaches down that way. Big Fat Bestie. Probably got some canned footage of Pattaya when he was over here last. What's next for the Avenue Patio? Well, that was in February, yeah. But yeah, there's just not much going. The places closing down, places being bulldozed. Anyway, I always have a time making bubble milk tea, and raising chicken eggs. I thought you were raising chicken. You don't actually raise the eggs, do you? Anyway, we got a minivan ride from Krabi to Suratani when he was down here. That was his January visit. We got Rob in Thailand. Scroll down. What's his latest one there? Out of work in Thailand, Kamala Phuket. Yeah, a lot of people out of work. And of course today in Thailand, Thailand Rob. Live 20 seconds in Thailand. Did a half-hour live stream there as well. Okay, Aussie. So David, what's he doing? Bangkok train ride, 10 baht, scenic countryside. Yeah, the price of train trips around here is incredibly low if you don't like air conditioning and you want to just jump on. I think they have second and third class, don't they? AI Farang, not welcome. What's that, Gogo? If you say you're a Chinese, Korean, Hong Konger, or Macau citizen, you should be able to get in, no problem. Yeah, I know. It's terrible. Tell me about it. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that foreign bloke, what's he up to? Building again. He's more building in Ban Suan 7. Andy, more of his canned footage from when he was over here last. Probably sort of really dying to get back. Niall in Thailand, what have you done, Niall? Niall and the blue cat discuss the darkness behind the tinsel of Hollywood. There's a live stream there from Niall. Paul in Sydney, hi Warren and everybody. Another day in paradise. Yeah, well, we'll get to the paradise side of things. I'm sitting on a nice beach today. What do you think? Yeah, is it looking good? Chiang Mai Thai video. So Jocko up there. Again, what's his latest video? Uploads. Chiang Mai nightlife memories of Loy Crow Road. Yeah, I think he's out of the country at the moment. I haven't followed that up. I haven't watched any videos apart from gaming videos this week. Foreigner Joe. Country living in Thailand. House, pool, land, the whole kit and caboodle. And he was up on a beach there as well with his girl. Andrew, direction Bangkok. Come on. Uploads there. He's been off the scene for a couple of weeks. 6 days ago, there was a cooking Pad Krapao Mu in Isan. So he's moved up to Isan as well. Fraser down there in the south, in the contentious hot south there, which I think is get a lot of border crossing, and they're grabbing people and throwing them in quarantine because of the COVID. Anyway, so social distancing salad bar in Thailand. He's been sort of hitting the scenes with his uploads, visiting Hat Yai, Thailand during Corona. I did medical trials so that I could go to Thailand. So he's back on the scene doing some videos there. Bossa Nova, good morning. And Thai style with Thai girl gift. Thai style with Thai girl gift. What do we got? Talkback Thailand. So we got tonight's and tomorrow night's videos, live stream. Stay tuned for that. If I'm around, I might join in. He keeps on sending me a link, but I keep on, because it's dinner time, I just miss it, you know. This is Mick. Another upload from Mick, one of my favourite vloggers. Visiting a wet market in Bangkok during COVID. I suppose you could say I was visiting a wet market last Sunday as well. There's a lot of food there being cut up, but it's not one of the not one of the wet markets where you got weird and exotic animals. Anyway, so we got Nick down there in Pattaya. 80% of Pattaya business is still closed. Yes, I'm sure that he'll keep us very well abreast of what's going on down there. And a lot of people, from what I've heard from other people, they're bulldozing buildings. So there's a lot of stuff going down on Pattaya at the moment. Ethan, he's still doing stuff. He doesn't even put up his latest videos. Yep. Uploads, local city, so stuff from Korea. If you want to know what Korea's like, they usually run down in Korea at the moment. James Abroad, Trouble in Paradise, Part 3. Pump Trouble, Thailand news, COVID, Pattaya infection free. Okay, so he's giving a bit of a roundup about what's going on there. Nobody goes to Thailand. Too slow, coach. Warren, hope you're well. Yes, well, we're doing pretty good. Hopefully Chanya will pop in and sort of say hello. I know she was putting makeup on before. Do More Life. He was on live stream a bit earlier this morning. That's all he seems to be doing these days. He's not doing much. Well, again, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm sort of doing my gaming live streams. How safe is Thailand to travel? Photography and videography basics for YouTubers. Branching out. Okay. Graham and Pie up there doing a live stream from the north. Lifestyle cooking. What's she done there? Fried pickled fish. No, sorry, I do not like the fried pickled fish. But Ian Welldale, his last one on our list today. Return from the mountains via Prow and highway. There's actually a few I've got to add. I've been really slack. There's a few people regularly posting on our Facebook group at the moment. Some new faces. I should get those added in by next week. My apologies to those channels. They've got to put 2 or 3 up rather than the drive-by spamming, you know, because that's what's happening now. You get people that are spamming Facebook for videos and they're not really participating in the community. But there's a few people there that are regularly posting now. I should put them up in my list and give them a bit of a shout out. But other than that, that's the rundown for today. Okay, so again, am I on the live stream gaming channel? Am I? I should be on that one there. What's happening around Thailand chat? Okay, what have we got? So the thing I was going to do, what's happening around Thailand, I think a bit of an update. That's what we should do. A bit of an update. There's a couple of things you wanted to mention. Right, so we'll open this one, and I'll get back out of the small screen. Right, okay, so as of tomorrow, untightening the vice, further easing of the lockdown for business and activities is scheduled to take place on May 17th, which is, I believe, tomorrow. Right, so food shops and restaurants in shopping malls, except pubs and bars, only takeaway alcohol sales are allowed. So takeaway foods, so again, the way these people write these things up, that could mean anything really. Food shops and restaurants in shopping malls, except pubs and bars. Only takeaway alcohol sales are allowed, but food and restaurants don't do takeaway alcohol. Bit of a weird one, that one. Department stores and community malls with opening hours until 8 p.m. Movie theatres, bowling alleys, karaoke shops, amusement parks, zoos, tutorial schools, fitness, amulet trading shops, and massage and spa shops. And massage and spa shops will remain closed. So basically general department stores for selling of goods, but the ones where you're congregating and being in a close proximity to other people, on a social level, which is what those other ones would probably pertain to, they're still going to be closed. Large retailers, wholesalers like furniture and construction. Okay, furniture and construction. What about home renovation? Maybe that also includes that. Large retailers and wholesale. I guess we think like, I suppose you'd call those what do you call it? The Thai What's-to-dos and the was it not GoPro? Was it Home Pros? That probably include them. I need to get a couple of things. That's all. Large markets such as Dalat. No, that should be Dalat Thai. So Dalat Thai. Oh, some people do the weird spelling of these things. A market in Thai is Dalat, not Talat. Who writes this stuff? Anyway, news, beauty clinics excluding face-related treatments. Okay, so you're not touching somebody's face. Okay, that probably, I suppose that sort of makes sense. Gymnasiums for non-contact sport with no more than 3 players and without spectators. Gymnasiums for non-contact sports with no more than 3 players and without spectators. Okay, so gyms are open. So didn't they so department stores and all that sort of stuff is closed, but you can go to the gym. Yeah, okay. Free weight sessions and fitness, free weight sessions at fitness clubs. Okay. Swimming pools with limited number of swimmers. I suppose that could mean condos, condo pools, as long as there's not too many people congregating, I'm guessing. Meeting rooms at hotels and conference centres with limited number of attendees. Film shoots with no more than 50 people. So it's a real bit of a mixed bag, but again, they're trying to be careful with this whole thing. We've also got new opening measures against COVID, which is the opening hour curfew. They moved the curfew to 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., so that's an extra hour in the day. Restrictions on all modes of transport. Restrictions on all modes of transport to Thailand. Okay, so they're still restricting people coming into the country. Travel prohibition or restrictions between provinces. Right, so they're still restricting, inter-province travel. Use of Thai Chana. Okay, I wanted to bring that up. The next one, Thai Chana, which is Thai's Win, a mobile app to facilitate business owners and recording of customer information. So that was what I got next on the list. So we talked about this last week, which was Australia's bringing out a tracking app. Looks like Thailand is bringing one in as well. It's called Thai Chana, the Thai Chana application. I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it anywhere. It says as of May 14th, but I don't know if we can actually sort of the Play Store. Android Play Store. Let's actually see if it's there. Google Play. So it's Thai Chana. Oh, come on, spell properly. Thaichana. Thai Chana. Okay, and apps, and we're not seeing it there. So, yep, so that spelling is not very helpful. Yeah, so it's going to be one of those tricky ones to find where it is. I haven't seen a location for it. I haven't seen any links for it. What they said it was called Thai's Win. Okay, so it's not coming up there. It's going to be one of those sort of things. I'll try to find where it is next week and sort of give you an update on that one. But yeah, so they're bringing out an app. It's supposed to be as of May 14th. I don't know when it's going to be released, whether it comes in or not. It's supposed to be available now. I just don't know where it is. If anybody knows that, just hit me up on Facebook or something. Give me a link so I can post it to everybody. But anyway, so what it does, right, let's go through. Register on the website. You've got to register your business. Supplements for those allowed under relaxed measures. They've got to register their business on a website. They receive a QR code. They put the QR code in front of the shop, right? They manage the congestions and check the score on the website. So, whether it's scoring well, I don't quite know how that works. The public, they open the application, open the application 2 times, check the congestion in the shop, check out, do an evaluation of the shop optional, free testing for COVID if you get notification to risk. So basically, if you go to a shop that's been registered and then you catch the COVID virus, then you will get, and you've used this app, basically the testing for the infection is free. So I suppose it's got some good things, but again, it's still a tracking app. It's just with a bit of a difference, I'm guessing. But well, they're trying to do something at least anyway. Anyway, so we've got our usual cohorts with us today. What are you guys just talking about? Talking amongst yourself at the moment, I guess, eh? Yeah, let me go to the bit larger screen. I really miss Melbourne. Yeah, why do you miss Melbourne? It's cold and muggy and wet. Yeah, this boss and Ava agreeing with me. Anyway, so let's just close that. So Oggie's with us this morning. So how's things over in your part of the country? They had you.
Well, as of today, they've taken away our stay-at-home order, so bars and things are starting to reopen. Professional sports was restarting, but without any spectators.
Right.
So that should be interesting.
So live coverage only. Yes.
Yep. And fuel's down under $2 a gallon, so that's good.
Yeah, I haven't even checked the price. I think we're paying 21 baht per litre or something like that. I've sort of seen locally, but the prices tend to vary.
Yep. Well, we've got so much taxes on fuel here. It's amazing to see it so low.
Go-go hopping. Useful information. When are we going go-go bar hopping? Well, I don't think we're going to see any go-go bars open for at least another probably 3 months. Did I say that last week, or did I give it longer last week? I can't remember what I say these days. I'm starting to get the Donald Trump, mentality. From everything changes from day to day. But look, pretty much a typical go-go bar doesn't work if you've got distance seating inside the bar, for one. So they're not going to be profitable. They're going to have lineups on the outside of the bar. Right, it's going to be one of those impossible things to manage, and I doubt very much we'll see. I'm sort of hedging 3 months. What is it? It was we're just May, so June, July, August, maybe August, September. Hard to say. Mind you, I'm not dying to go to one. It's one of those sort of things, and they said that can be taken literally. Dying to go to a go-go bar, and get the virus, and then end up going 6 feet under. Who knows? Mind you, the numbers we've seen here in Thailand are very minimal. And I actually was saying I wasn't going to talk too much about the virus at all. I'm no expert on it. I just think that it's just I'm over it. Had enough. Want to talk about other good stuff. talk about gaming, talk about yeah. We actually had a pretty good discussion last night about gaming, didn't we? Were you there with us, Oggy, or was just Stephen? Stephen and
That's me.
okay, Stephen joined in. Actually, I was talking with
Last night would have been my morning, and I wasn't on this morning.
I was talking with Insomnia Gaming, so that's another gaming front on the web scene. He's got his Facebook page up. I was giving him some tips on Streamlabs, and he's giving me some tips on streaming into YouTube, not into YouTube, into Facebook. So we're sort of cross-pollinating there. I'm not going to actually say who Insomnia Gaming is. You have to just follow the channel, search for Insomnia Gaming, and you'll find out who it is. All very well and good. But we chatted with him for a couple of hours yesterday. Got him all set up with a couple of ideas, a couple of links. He put me onto a couple of things that he's found as well. So it should be quite good. Things are looking up. Hey, Don's joined us. Good morning, Don. How are you? It's close up for now. What, Blue? Close up what? Looking at the Koreans. So, Blue, how's Singapore? Is he gonna? There he is.
Yeah,
Blue?
we had a lot of affected, and then local Singaporean we only got one. Finally, bring down the number to
Right.
single.
But how they're going?
There's another factor. Yeah, but there's another factor that I like to bring in to you guys is that our government can say single digit or whatsoever. The moment they leave this off, and then everything going to be rampant again. And there's no way of trying to control the economics and the viral spread.
Yeah. Again, so you've got a small nation down there, or a small location with a fairly high, densely populated area. It's highly densely populated compared to where we are. We've got a lot of countryside here. They're opening up things gradually, and they're just trying to. They're trying to bring things back to normal, but again, so we've had very minimal sort of infection rates here, which is again, people are saying, well, how accurate the numbers? Well, quite frankly, you've got to start to ask about these numbers, haven't you? I have actually got some stuff here. I'm not going to bring it up, but I've got some stuff here on my Discord channel in the general news. There was the Elon Musk and what do you call it? From Elon Musk, what's his name? Joe Rogan, Elon Musk interview. And Elon Musk is sitting there and quite frankly is saying, hospitals in America get paid, right, to put death via COVID on their death certificate, right, when they die in hospital, right? And they're not testing them if they've got a sniffle, they've got a cough, if they've a little bit of shortness of breath. When you're dying, you've got a shortness of breath. That's what he's saying. When you're dying, you've got a shortness of breath anyway. So, and they were bringing up some evidence, the fact that this is what's going on. Basically telling people the fact that these numbers are being falsified. The death numbers are falsified because hospitals are a business entirely in America, and they're losing money hand over fist, right? Yet they get grants from the government if the death is COVID related. Basically they're not testing them. They're not probably doing proper blood tests. Other things, like there's a saying. Other articles I read this week, which was, verified. They found that France actually had. They found one known case on the 29th of December, right? So blood samples which were taken from people who came in with odd pneumonia cases in France. They thawed these blood samples out, and they've run proper COVID tests on these blood samples. And these blood samples for people late December in France have been found to be carrying the virus. Right, so there's so much misinformation going out there. You've got to ask the question: what the hell are we doing? Thailand's about to get back to normal, and I've got a pretty good feeling that we're going to manage it pretty well because of what we're doing. We're not letting anybody bring the stuff into the country. but again, when people are being tested, maybe they're probably using proper test kits and doing proper blood sampling and testing whether it's that or it's related. And maybe again, the hospitals don't stand to gain anything here by writing off a typical pneumonia case, right, or any other sort of respiratory infection. They don't stand to gain anything by writing it off as a COVID case. Right, so we're getting real numbers out of Thailand. Who knows? And again, the same thing is happening in England. I think the whole world is being sort of led down the complete garden path. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents worth. I just would like to sort of see people just start to get a grip and not be sort of so scared about the media circus that's being propagated at the moment. Do some research. The research material's out there, but it's being suppressed. Now, I'm not a tinfoil hat guy. I'm a Harley Davidson hat guy, right? I'm just a bit more discerning when it comes to seeing all this bullshit you see on Facebook. And quite frankly, 90% on the stuff that's coming through Facebook is all bullshit. I remember seeing one guy from England posting something that if you've had influenza in the last 10 years, right, there's a very high likelihood that you're going to test positive for COVID. What a load of crap that is. But he's thinking, I've got a lot of people who have had the COVID test that have taken flu shots, and they're not showing up any COVID bloody strains in their blood test. So how can you even post that sort of shit on Facebook? I really get it. It's just frustrating the amount of crap that you see on Facebook feed these days. Right, and it is rampant. 90% of the crap that you sort of see in the Facebook feed is all bullshit. And people are believing it. That's the worst thing. Oh my God. It's crazy shit. Yeah, that's what Andy's just saying. Hospitals in the US get $17,000 per patient with the virus and $32,000 for people in ventilators. Yeah, so they're just shoving people on ventilators because the hospitals are going broke. It's ridiculous.
No, Warren. Check this out. I was actually, I wasn't insinuating or insulting the American president or whatsoever, but I'm just actually cut and paste and copy on certain things which I don't really agree to the view of what the President Trump is doing, because apparently he's the leader of the world. So he wasn't setting a kind of a correct example, and people, I mean, there are people like both sides of the story, as like people try to, try to put their point across, and some will be like ridicule him and things like that. So I will choose that the other path of ridiculing him. And then apparently my Facebook was actually being attacked by some of the Americans that they say that actually I'm from Singapore and I have no right to ridicule him or show some funny or stupid photos about him and whatsoever. So actually what my point is that if the person can't show his proper leadership or whatsoever, so I mean, why not?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there, Dale. Blue. Yeah, look, it can rile up a lot of Americans when you sort of put the leader of the free world. God, I didn't make him the leader of the free world, that's for certain. The guy is an absolute imbecile. He shouldn't
Warren. My final attack on them was that, yeah. I mean, it's a land of freedom and the land of speech, freedom of speech, right? So,
well, no. Have you looked at America these days? That's you're being suppressed left, right, and centre by having your 2 cents worth, right? Like Facebook are doing it, YouTube is doing it. Like videos being pulled down because your right to freedom of speech doesn't fit in with their regime anymore, or their basically people are being suppressed. Freedom of speech freedom of speech in America is no longer freedom of speech in America anymore, right? You are being suppressed if you don't follow along with the mandated storylines. You are being pulled down off Facebook, off Twitter, off YouTube. If you don't toe the line with the current vernacular, you're being suppressed. I would be surprised that my video today will get demonetized for that, because I'm talking negative to the current propaganda that's being being put out there. And that's what it has. It's a suppression of freedom of speech. I'm allowed to tell my story, right? I'm not going to say I'm saying I'm not an expert, but quite frankly, I just look at the stuff. I look at the stuff from all angles. I'm not taking any side, but there's a lot of stuff that's out there, right, with documented evidence. One thing that came out of Italy, they're doing autopsies on cases for COVID in Italy, because they had a fairly large population hit by the virus, and in these cases, they're finding the fact that the disease that this pleurisy sort of lung infection is not what it really seems to be. It's now what they're sort of saying. The test that they've done says it's more like a thrombosis, which is a blocking of the arteries. And they're treating it wrong, because the fact that you don't treat this virus with ventilators. You treat it with treat it with antibiotics. And there's a good paper. I've got the paper here somewhere. If you want to look, I can link it up in my Discord. But that's what this is saying. These tests, these poor post-mortem tests, are saying these people are not dying from the mucus, lack of oxygen and everything else. They're dying because the blood vessels in the lungs are clogging up, because it's a thrombosis style viral infection. Right, and the best way to treat it is not the way they're doing it, is with antibiotics. And again, this is on sort of like they did 50 autopsies, all coming out the same way. But again, you've got to look at this sort of stuff, you've got to find behind the scenes that the main news articles and news feeds, they are told to toe the line. The fringe articles, you've got to look at the supporting evidence, the supporting, are these doctors credible, where the background is and everything else. There's lots of information coming out that is contrary to the current propaganda that's being fed out the major news articles, right? And why are they doing it? I believe it's a simple process of the fact that population on this planet is 7 billion, right? It's getting harder and harder to control the population. They brought in that the virus has been engineered to bring in a forced, I'm trying to think of the word, fascism. Because you can look at the signs. It looks like fascism over and over, everywhere you go. The freedoms that we're used to are being suppressed. Right, we're being told to toe the line. We're being told to formulate our ideas based on the current propaganda. Right, if that's not fascism, I don't know what it is. Right, and people are just sort of saying, yeah, well, I'm just going to bend over and take it right up the arse. People just got to wake the fuck up, really. Absolute power corrupts, absolutely, exactly, Andy. I know, I've been watching Andy. We've been sort of bouncing things backwards and forwards on Facebook. He's thinking the same way as me. I think there's going to be an unrest if the madness goes on. Yes, I know, for much longer. Yeah, 98. Yeah. Yeah, I did some numbers the other week.
I actually had another view, is that the capitalists and the they call it the ultra, what they call that, the higher tier of the echelon of the human society, that actually they had this the first front news, where they know what to do to themselves to keep them safe, right? And the rest of it is just make up by the news, the medias, and the tabloids or whatsoever. So I'm looking at it as, it's like, if we are in the, the upper echelon of the society are not sharing certain information with us. So that's why that she was citing that the Italy, they sort of like, they fail into like trying to revive or rescue those people who are suffering from this virus, and same happens to other countries too, right? So I'm looking at it like maybe like what you said is the fascism, or some kind of a cultural, some humanitarian thing going on. So I look at it, it's like basically it's some kind of a political, or their kind of agenda that they want to bring down the world populations or something like that.
Well, no, there was also to bring down the world populations because unfortunately the trouble with that multi-tier society is you still need people to press the buttons. Of course, what we're also facing for the last 10 years is the fact that a lot of these button pressing jobs are being replaced by robots. You know, there's now robots in America that do burger flipping. There's now robots in America that make pizza, right? So these low-skilled workers, these low-skilled jobs are being replaced by robotics because why? Well, the robots operate 24/7. They don't ask for a pay rise, and when you start to do the cost of minimum wage, it's actually now becoming cheaper to put in a robot to flip burgers than to pay three casual staff to flip burgers on 8-hour rotations, right? When you look at over a 6-month period, right? So why do you have burger flippers? You can have one robot doing burger flipping, and they're supposedly, from what I've read, they're very, very good at it. And so what we've got is a situation where governments are having to make up jobs to satisfy their unemployment numbers, so the fact that they don't scare the economy. But the reality fact is, the world is going to a position where people will not be able to work, right? Robotics are a reality. They are happening right now. And we've got a world population that is expanding, not so much in the West, but in the third world countries. They're still got a population increase rate of 1.2 to 1.3, maybe 1.4% in some of the less well-off areas. In South Africa and places like that, they're running sort of 1.8 population, increase, whereas the West is, doing a population decrease. I think America, population is on the decline. I think for every person now, there's only 0.7 people replacing death, right? So their population is technically decreasing. And of course, the way, unfortunately, business doesn't work that way. Population expects an increase in buyers, so that's why you have all this immigration coming into countries. The whole propagation of immigration, it makes up for the lack of the birth rates. Not talking about the Muslims who tend to have 10 children over 5 wives, that's a different thing altogether. But, before long, America will be taken over by Muslim people because they want to have 5 wives and 10 children. Guess the whole world's just gone completely crazy. Was that Niall? A number of people that tested positive for COVID prior to Justin Bieber putting out his first record was 0 after he put his first record, 4.5. Do the maths, yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah, it's all Justin Bieber's fault, isn't it? Struck anthrax would be struck anthrax would be would do the
Oh,
trick.
that means it's Canada's fault.
Oh, okay.
He's from Canada,
Okay, fair enough.
not America. He's Canadian.
They lowered they stuck in Florida. I did just see somebody else. Warren Thurrott, hello, how are you going? What else were those?
And we don't know what Tiny Tim was.
Right. Thailand vloggers, you write too much crap on Facebook. Yeah. I just want to make sure I'm shouting out to everybody that's popping in to say hello. Sometimes things just scroll up the screen way too fast for me. What else we got? Scrolling down. It's stuck in Florida. Dala, my niece, is the microbiologist at the University of Miami, changing the RNA to DNA for COVID for research. We have talked about the conspiracies extensively. Yeah, I'd love to have you on to chat about that, stuck in Florida. If you wanted to sort of jump on and give us a bit of an insight into that, I think a lot of this stuff is just why we are going down this path. Okay, we've got to protect. Well, I've said this last week. We've got to protect the people who are at most at risk. And this week they're coming out saying people with diabetes have a 50% more chance of catching the virus than others. So if you suffer from diabetes, there's a higher chance that you will catch it. If you're a smoker, for instance, you've actually got a lesser chance of catching it. Work that one out. It's really weird. But again,
Because the virus hate tobacco.
well, basically tobacco creates a sort of there is actually that tobacco does have a medicinal side to it. Now, what's in cigarettes these days isn't real tobacco, right? There's only about 25% tobacco plant in a cigarette these days. Most of it is what they call reconstituted tobacco. Which is like, there's a shelf life for tobacco products. They come back into, places like Marlboro. They're put into a big vat and they make they make a fake tobacco, which and then of course they add a lot of chemicals to it and everything else. But real tobacco, like a native Indian on a reservation growing his own crops of tobacco, which is part of their sacrament, right? Again, there are medicinal properties for that. Like it's a mild anaesthetic, and it's also a cleansing. It's it's got a particular enzyme in it, and for all we know, this enzyme in the tobacco, which is inhaled, which you're getting a little bit when you're a smoker, but if you're smoking real tobacco, right, you'll actually get a lot more of it. That enzyme, who knows? It probably kills the virus. Because it does acidify, it acidifies your bronchial tubes, which is part of the smoking process. And, so smoking could be a potential sort of, preventative. The numbers seem to suggest that. Numbers out of smokers out of, well, we can't really trust the situation in China for their numbers and figures, but the numbers I read was something like 35% of the Chinese population in males are smokers, yet the deaths that they had only showed that 6% of the COVID cases who died were smokers, which is less than the average male population for smoking. So that's where those numbers, but those numbers have now been verified as being compatible with other places around the world. So, something that kills you, right? Smoking, we know, kills you, is actually saving people's lives. Work that one out. But we don't hear that news, right? That news is being suppressed. It's not really being it's not newsworthy. It's not towing the line of the propaganda machine. So we won't see those in headlines. We'll only see it on fringe places like The Independent, where they're not sort of so heavily influenced by the left and right wing propaganda, and a few other sort of lesser blogs and things like that. Yeah, well, again, sort of a dialogue. I can attest to that one myself. I was diagnosed with asthma, and by the age of 15. Well, let's say 14, I was sick and tired of being treated like a pariah in society. I wasn't, although I played sport, I had, my Adjupant and my Ventolin sprays. I had to take tablets, and I got sick and tired of being ostracised because of my asthma condition. And then I started smoking, and by the age of 15, I was a regular smoker. Well, I wouldn't say regular, probably five to 10 a day. I didn't get up to a pack a day till I was 18, but I started smoking. By the age of 15, my asthma went away. Now, they doctors have said, oh, you just outgrew it. No, I stopped taking the frickin' drugs that were prescribed for it, and I started behaving like a normal, adolescent renegade male, smoking, drinking, having sex, the whole lot. I started being a regular guy outside my mother's, influence, right? And guess what? The asthma went away. My mother, of course, was a bit of a hypochondriac. God rest her soul, but she was always sick. She always had some sort of ailment or illness or whatever. And as children, we grew up in a household where every slight sniffle became, oh, we have to get to the doctor, because that was her raison d'etre. That was the way she was in life. Of course, once I got out from underneath the apron strings and did my own thing, interestingly enough, my asthma went away. You know, I was polluting my lungs with tobacco, right? I was drinking alcohol in the park with my mate Des. It was crazy shit.
Oh,
But
just allergic to your mother.
again, you know, she just basically she couldn't control me. I just got out of. I was just out of control. I was what they call in Scotland a ne'er-do-well. I don't know if I pronounced that properly, but a ne'er-do-well. And we got into all sorts of trouble, and it was fun. I actually had fun in my life, and I actually took up in Scotland. I took up playing rugby union, right, which was not the same rugby league I was playing with as a 12-year-old in Australia, which is although we played rugby, but I stopped playing. I think I stopped playing at the age of 13 or something like that. I just basically got sick of it because it was just one of those sort of things you go through. But I actually did rugby union when I went to Scotland. Played in an over 18, was it under 18s? I don't know, 18-year. I don't know. Anyway, everybody in the team was bigger than me. I was actually played hooker because of I was small and light and God, the two rucks on the side of me. God, every time I went into scrum, God, it's like brains smashed out. But it was fun. Did that for a year. But again, I started doing regular shit like regular people. I was actually a pretty good hooker too. But anyway, there's an extract in male semen. That's what this is, Niall. There's an extract in male semen that has medicinal value. I offered this assistance by standing at the door of the mall and acting like a dispenser, and the management haven't got back to me yet. Nice one. Frozen semen. Sadly, most people who go on ventilators don't recover. Already too late for most elderly people. Yep. Again, that's if this evidence from Italy about thrombosis, thrombosis symptoms actually pans out, and they start treating it with antibiotics, right, and blood thinners, right, and people get off ventilators. Well, who knows what will happen? But whether but again, this requires people to sign affidavits of non-responsibility for doctors to take alternatives and everything else. So you're basically left you're basically between a rock and a hard place. This is the prescribed way we're going to treat you, right? But if you want to take this experimental, like this experimental vaccine or this experimental drug or this experimental procedure, right, you've got to sign this waiver so you can't sue us. Well, what's the average person going to do? They're going to just toe the line as well. They're not going to take a risk in their own life on some sort of, perceived cure, especially if it's not getting any media coverage. People are sheep. They'll toe the line like anybody. It's just like everybody, just a bunch of sheep. What else we got? My mum smoked like a greenwood. She's 85, still going strong. My grandfather, both my grandfathers smoked. They died at a fairly reasonably old age, we'd like to sort of say. I think my grandfather on my mother's side, he died when I was 6, but I think he was in his 70s, and he also worked on a coal mine. He was a coal miner in his adolescence, so his lungs were already caked full of crap and damaged to beyond repair. My grandfather on my father's side, I think he lived to 75 or something, and when you consider that that age lifespan for being born in the 1900s and 1920s, they did pretty well. Couldn't control it. I think most of the lung cancer we see today is because of all the impurities they put in the tobacco. Because lung cancer, like I said, the Native American Indian, we don't hear of lung cancer cases in the 50s and 40s from Native Americans who grew and smoked their own tobacco in their sacraments. It was a non-starter, non-issue. when they started, in the 60s and 70s, when they started sort of, polluting it to make the cigarettes burn longer and control the burn, make it easier for women to smoke, all that sort of stuff, the tailor-mades, the whole thing, that whole cigarette industry, when that started to escalate, that's when we started to see the major cancer, because they've got to put all these carcinogens in it just to make the damn cigarettes burn. Right?
Well, they're actually making them burn faster and not go out, so that you smoke more of them.
Yeah, that's another polluting. They're putting these chemicals in it, and any one of those chemicals could be
formaldehyde and nitrates and everything else. Just to,
now, of course, I was a smoker for since the age of 14. Yeah, started smoking at the age of 14. I quit when I was 54, 53, 50. Yeah, so 40.
What's a cigar, which is all natural tobacco.
Well,
if you stop pulling on the cigar, it stops burning. It will go out.
Yeah, I used to smoke a pipe. So I had pipe. That was my favourite. But again, even smoking a pipe, I was ostracised. Oh, don't smoke that near us. It smells. Well, it fucking tasted nice. It's real tobacco.
You have to sit there and puff those cigarettes like friggin' chimneys.
Yeah, I know.
It's like. What I think is funny is now they're finding out that vaping has all these bad side effects. It's like.
No, so that's only the tobacco industry, so because they're losing revenue. And you got to understand that these industries, like the tobacco industry, they employ a lot of people, right?
Oh,
yeah. And again, if we're putting robots in assembly lines, and these people that worked in those industries, they're falling off like flies. Not dying, but they're being retrenched because the tobacco industry isn't producing enough. So the numbers of employment go down. Those people end up in a dole queue, and they end up flipping burgers, which they can no longer flip because there's a robot there, right? This brings me to another discussion we should talk about one day, which is the universal basic income. Governments need to go in a direction of creating this thing called the universal basic income. It's the only way forward now in society where everybody is guaranteed enough to live on, right, from the age of 18. All right, you just basically get your $2,000 a month, right? That's enough to live on. Right, and what happens is the fact that if you're working, if you choose to work, right, then you get additional on top of that 2,000. Right, how does it get funded? It gets funded with the change in the tax scales, making businesses more tax heavy because they're employing less. Again, they put a robot on an assembly line. They don't have to pay any sort of income tax or wage taxes for these robots who are doing the work of 3 people, right? So, again, revenue for the tax department is disappearing, right? You're going to make businesses pay their fair share and, take it off the burden off the people who can't work, right? Give them a basic income, right? Lower the wages across the board for everybody else by that income level. So you create a situation where if people want to work, if you want to flip burgers, then you flip burgers. You're going to make $1 an hour or something like that, which is just the supplement to the basic income, right? And if you're a computer engineer, rather than getting paid $120,000 a year, you get paid $118,000 a year. You're still paid, not 118. Well, I got that wrong. If you got 120,000, that's 8,500 a month. So instead of getting paid $8,500 a month, you get paid $6,500 a month. No skin off your nose. You pay less in your tax, but you've already got the 2,000 as a basic guarantee. If you didn't like your job, you can go get the idea. It all works. The numbers do work. But again, the propaganda machine, right, the whole system needs to change. And the trickle-down economy we have in the West basically does not work, right, in its current format with, the proposals and the ideas. Basically, you've got to blanket change the whole structure of the thing, which is everybody pays their fair share of tax. If you've got dollars coming in, you can't offset your Google can't offset their income and put it in the Cayman Islands, and pay less tax, right? They've got to stop all that bullshit, right? They're going to sort of make everybody pay into the system so that everybody gets paid out of the system, and that's a global thing, right? It has to be done on a global level. Unfortunately, that's the thing. We'll never see it happen because businesses will still offset working into China where they get paid cents in the dollar for their labour. Right? You see all these bloody posts on Facebook. I'm not going to buy Chinese anymore. Wake the fuck up, people! Really? People have got no idea. Everything you do, you could not exist in today's society without made in China. It's just impossible to replace it. Right? Get a reality check, So funny. Blue Zinc, marijuana is the best. Is the best to go with. What are we talking about? We talk about. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. But we're at this stage now. It has to be changed now. So scrolling back there, stuck in Florida. You don't hear of people having liver problems from taking part in communion with about the same amount of Native Americans with tobacco. It was ceremonial, not a couple of packets a day. Well, that's true. But yeah, it's the smoking, the peace pipes and all that sort of stuff. I don't know enough about Native American Indians to be any authority on it. But I do know the fact that there is brands of cigarettes that are made by Indian reservations which are 95% pure tobacco. And I was able to buy those in Australia. I used to buy those when I wanted to mix up, the cannabis. They weren't cheap. They were twice the price of a normal packet of cigarettes back then. But when I smoked cannabis, I liked to mix it down a bit. So for a few years I actually grew my own tobacco. But then I found these Native American cigarettes that I could buy. My tobacconist would get them in for them, and I'd buy in a carton at a time, and they'd last a year. And they weren't expensive back then. But again, I'd rather mix with pure tobacco than with the crap that you see in cigarettes these days. Our government is always the government's always tracking us there. Tell me about it. Mr. Mitch, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening. Over there. Can't remember where everybody's from. Oh my God. The Cobblers Safe app. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to boycott everything made by robots. I think that's an impossibility. Don't get in the car then. They're made by robots. Every car manufacturer uses robots these days, so you'll be walking everywhere. Go-go, most cars are, yeah, that's right, Johnny saying, yeah, that's right, most cars are made by robots. That's exactly right. Geez, he was right on the ball rather than me. I will only buy items made by automations and dispensed by vending machines. Really? Stuck in Florida, grew up on a reservation. Okay.
You can't catch a virus from a vending machine as long as it was produced by an automaton and filled by a robot.
Yeah. We'd love to have you on here and talk about your life on a reservation there, stuck in Florida. Anytime you feel up to having a chat about it, we'd love to sort of talk about that. It's better than talking about this cobber shit. I'd rather talk about something else. I have got a few joke things we come up. Where is my only Thailand? Is there something? It wasn't there. It was moved into just for fun. What do we got here? Oh, that's right. I think these were from the other day. Opening that one. Let's have a look at some just for funs that I come across this week. Come in. I don't know. Somebody's coming the door. Just wait a minute. Pa. Oh, okay.
You look for something.
Yeah. Chanya's obviously gone to work. She didn't come up to say goodbye. Naughty girl. Anyway, the first one from the list. I may be getting old, but I can still spot a safety violation. Look at him. No hard hat, no safety glasses, no hearing protection, and no gloves. What's this guy honestly thinking about? At least he's a definite contender. He's definitely contender for Darwinism. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. Non-COVID related. There's the next one here. Jack Nicholson, he's always one of my favourites. If you're going to be a smart ass, first make sure you're smart. Otherwise you're just an ass. What about this one here? This was one of my favourites. Love my bacon. Would you try one of these? Bacon wrapped cheese stuffed hot dogs.
You had me at stuffed bacon.
You had me at bacon wrapped. Mate, they look yummy. I'm going to try one of those. Oh God, can I get one? I said, can I get 7-Eleven to make those? Oh my God, look yummy. Mm. Okay, this one is a bit COVID related. 2020, the year my bin went out more than me. What's this one here? Okay, so there's a lot of double speak going on, but here's one that caught my eye. You can't go out because of the virus. Sounds weak, whiny, and boring. That's from a Viking saying that. Try instead. I've sworn an oath of solitude until the pestilence is purged from our lands. Sounds more valiant and heroic. People might even think you are carrying a sword. Anyway, I thought they were funny. Just lighten the mood. Johnny Siam, he may not have had the chain. He may not have had the chain break. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, if he didn't have the chain brake on, that would have been very.
Yeah.
Well,
Without even going to speculate.
He would have been self-modified.
He would have been a tender for the Darwin Awards. Actually, that's probably. What have we got? Have we got any Darwin Awards for this year so far? What have we got coming up? The Darwin Awards. Darwin Awards. 2020. Anything on the front of Darwin Awards for 2020?
Always love the Darwin Awards. I still love the one about the people bungee jumping off the Tacoma Narrows Bridge with cable. Because they couldn't find any bungee cord.
Too long, didn't read. What do we got in here? Pilot Patrick Fly. So they're getting pretty slack with the Darwin Awards. There's so much stuff going on. We just don't actually get any funny shit anymore. People are just accepting the fact that people are dumb.
Well, it's not unusual any longer. You know, it used to be that the stupid ways people could kill themselves was unusual. Now it's just usual.
Here's one here for United Kingdom wins Darwin Award. Darwin Awards are always funny and to read about, but some idiot leaned over the edge of a cliff and take a selfie and fell to their doom, or forgot to put the safety catch on while cleaning their gun and shot themselves in the head. But this year's ceremony will feature something a little different. This year an award will be presented to an entire country, specifically the UK, will be receiving a Darwin Award for Brexit. Awards chairman Stu Pidkunz, if I said that right, had this to say on the matter. Thanks, Dal. We couldn't overlook the stupidity of an entire national democratic voting to deprive itself of all its human rights for possible generations to come. We thought about making 17.4 million people individual wards, but that wouldn't work as voting is anonymous and many people who voted for Brexit have since died. This is obviously an anti-Brexit thing. In some cases, as a consequence of their vote already, so those ones who have already got the special mention. Brexit certainly meets the criteria. It was self-inflicted. It showed an astonishingly stupid judgment, and the population were capable of sound judgment, but still went with it. Well, again, I think this is anti-Brexit. I don't think it really sort of qualifies for Darwin Awards. That's just a hypocritical look at it against the democratic process. And still, the whole thing's out to lunch. There's more important things going on than, like, it's interesting how the virus came around and nobody talks about all the Brexit stuff. It became a non-starter after that, didn't it? Pretty much after that thing was finally signed off. On 29th of January, wasn't it? They signed out. It was signed away, and all of a sudden then we've got this virus that keeps everybody in their house. No more picketing or...
This was generated to take everybody's mind off Brexit?
Well,
that's it. That's what it was.
That's what it was. There was another conspiracy theory.
Even I can create a conspiracy theory.
Hamlet protested in July. The Hamlet protester in July 2009. A man from Onondaga, New York. Did I say that right? In New York was taking part in a group protest ride of motorcycle helmet laws. That's right. Stating that people should have the right to decide whether or not they wear proper safety equipment when they ride their motorcycles. Even with evidence that shows that most people can survive a crash of up to 90 miles per hour if they wear the right safety equipment, people like the man who's named Mr. Kontos on the Darwin Awards website believe that they have the right to decide whether or not they should wear equipment and whether or not they should die. Because that's exactly what happened when to Kontos during that ride, as he was killed when he flipped over his handlebars and landed headfirst into the pavement. His older brother said that he would have wanted it that way, and that he wouldn't have worn a helmet even if he was going to have a second chance. Yeah, okay, well that's pretty dumb. It doesn't really constitute Darwin Awards. Double Darwin? Yeah, they used to be funny. I just think the people just lost the... back in the 90s, the Darwin was putting a J-tow rocket on the back of a car, to try to, to see if you could take off and things like that. And Evel Knievel was pretty much a Darwin fanatic, wasn't he? Jumping.
He was a contender for many years, because but he kept living, so That's just an honorable mention. He never took himself out of the gene pool. His son is still living up in Sequim, Washington, Port Angeles, and does the same things.
Yeah. Darwin Awards are no longer what they used to be. Perry Honeyman, g'day, how you doing? Good, nice to have you drop in, and Ralph Lewis as well. So where are we? It's 11:20. I've run out of things to say. I've had my rant about the whole COVID thing, and we'll probably demonetize the video for again. I didn't, because we didn't talk about COVID last week. Didn't demonetize. There was no swearing last week. I've had a few expletives this week.
Sorry.
But I'm going to have to do some testing on this whole stream.
Steven, anyways.
Where is he?
Mr. Monash, you around?
No sign of him.
No, he's obviously sleeping in.
So he hasn't chimed in on the chat. Usually he's in there, or just not in.
For those who are watching, he did his colonoscopy went through successfully. They gave him a clean bill of health for another 5 years. There he's actually in the lobby. He's actually joined us in the lobby, but he's in the wrong place. Stephen, are you there? Hello, Stephen.
He actually has an ass.
Still going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're still
Yes,
going.
yes,
We're just
sir.
talking about you, not to you. We're talking about you.
Oh, sorry. I woke up early and tested it out, and then I went and thought I'll get another hour, and I didn't wake up again.
Okay, so what we're all going to do this. It's a belated birthday for Mr. Monash. So we're all going to
Happy
sing.
belated.
We're going to all sing happy birthday
Yeah.
after 3,
Oh, very nice of
2,
you.
1. Happy birthday to come on, so, happy birthday to you. You live in the zoo. You look like a
Like
monkey.
a monkey, and you smell like one.
Hip hooray!
Go, you're going to play your birthday card? Where's your
Yes,
birthday?
yes, I better play that. Yes,
Play
yes,
the
yes.
birthday
Have
card.
a,
His brother sent him a birthday card.
I think I overdid it yesterday. Once I hit the sack, I couldn't wake up again.
Here's his birthday card. Oh,
I have
God.
that same. I have that same card.
That sends shivers down my spine. That does.
It's a bit like the ringtone.
It's a birthday card. It's cats singing. It's cats singing the birthday tune. Oh my
Imagine
God.
that as your Imagine that as your ringtone.
You're going to record it and make it your ringtone, are you? Oh my God.
What's your ringtone again? I forgot yours. What's the
Ring,
No,
ring.
that's my Facebook tone. It's not my ringtone.
that's-
It's something on Facebook.
the shocker? Ring, ring,
Ring, ring, ring. Yeah, we love it.
I think I've got a worse one for you now. I'm going to put this on my phone somehow.
Send the card over here. I'll record it and I'll make a phone tune for you.
You record it here and do it.
No,
Okay,
because it's
no.
not the quality's not there. I'd have to do a proper mic up for it. But yeah,
Put it
so
on yours. It can't be any worse. We're
he's
still on live?
He's,
Is it
he's
still
joined,
live, Jack?
yeah, we're still live. So he's now Harset Bear. If you know Thai, we'll tell you his age. Harset Bear.
Oh, Hasip Pat.
Bear.
What'd you
Yeah.
say? Hasip Bear?
Bear.
No, Pat.
Pat?
Hasip Pat. Pat for 8. Yeah.
No, it's not Pat. It's Bear.
Here we
Song,
go.
song,
Right,
sip,
you know,
ha,
love this when two guys who can't speak
Pat,
Thai argue over how
Tal,
to speak it.
sip. I don't know why. Why is it Pat? It's Bear. Is a God really, Stephen? Bear is
Hasip
8.
Pat.
No, it's Bear. Harset Bear.
Chanya. Get Chanya. Chanya in there.
Oh, God.
Ah, fuck, you're playing that tune now. Chanya, get her to say it. I bet it's Hasip Pat.
It's not Harset Bear. It's Harset
She.
Pat. It's not Bear.
Bring Chanya on, we'll have a test, we'll find out. Or Hasip Gal. Hasip Gal and Mal.
Oh, come on.
Hasip Gal and Mal.
58
See?
Sit.
Harset
58
Bat. Not bat.
58 แก่แล้ว
Yeah, who said that? Zinc? Blue Zinc, was it?
So it's definitely not Harset Pat. That's for certain.
Is Hasip Pat.
Pat is stir fry.
We're hearing something different. It's not bat.
58
You hearing that? Harset Bat.
yeah
No, I'm hearing Pat.
How's it
Tip
bad?
Pat.
Harset
Tip Pat. Tip Pat. Tip Pat.
Okay, just again, let's go and do this again.
Play it again. Play it again.
No, I just go to Thai language. Right, Thai language, this one here. This is the best way to do it.
Guys who can't speak Thai argue know how to speak Thai.
Right, and that's how
Love
you
it.
say it. Right,
you just keep playing it so you're
8
changing the audio.
8
if I go to there. Right. Oh, let me just. Oh, come on! Can we just copy and
Words.
paste that thing there?
It's saying 8. It's not saying that.
You can hear Pat. I don't know what wrong with his.
Okay. It's going to give us a. It's not going to give us an audio sample, is it?
Look at the Roman. Look at the spelling of it. That'll help us because it's
Bat, so
P-A-E-T.
B-P, bat, bat. Bah. It's the B you say without letting air out. Bat. It's not
Yeah, I
pay.
pronounce it pat.
That's all right.
Pat.
Okay. But
Pat.
you said pat. You said pat.
I still stick by my P more than the B.
Whatever. Anyway, so we'll always argue about that one.
We're both right.
Has
You've
it
got a
bad.
B and a P.
Has it bad.
So we're both right. So it's an explosion.
Yeah, but it's not. If you said pat, that's stir fry.
That's what I
Like
said.
pad thai.
I've said that for years, and they've always understood me. Bring Chanya in. Let's test this out on a real person.
She's not here. Okay.
Well, there we go. We're fucked until next week then.
We are. Yes, exactly right. Anyway,
Always understood me when I said that.
I already said it
So,
once. So,
Is there a
just
Thai person
because
on
you
this
weren't
channel?
here.
See you later, Johnny. See
Somebody on
ya.
this channel? It's the one that speaks Thai on the channel.
Pat Thai.
He's the one who'll know whether it's Pat because his name's Pat.
Pat Thai. Yeah, Pat Thai.
You're
Stir fry
Pad Thai.
Thai.
P than a B.
It's BP. Bet.
Pat. Down as Thai as I could. Hasit Pat.
You can go into
Song
here, we
ha.
go to Thai language.
E Hok Pat Gao. It's sort of an explosion, so we'll settle on an explosion. We'll settle on the two. There you go. We'll go halfway. Half and half. We'll settle on that.
Oh, this stupid website always wants to use the wrong thing. Settings.
My P's there.
The way they pronounce it. Really? Go see a doctor about that, Stephen, really.
Look up.
He did.
No, that was the wrong end.
Oh, well, you know, they couldn't tell one from the other.
Doctor just said to me, "Excuse me," and I did it again. Oh fuck! I'm rooted today.
สวัส
Not
ดี
that I
ครั
was
บ
drinking it. Who's that?
That's all right. I had to just do that
Morning.
just to change the audio.
Say
go
that.
back.
Some bad. You said that pretty good.
Trying to get the thing. It's just one of those things. This site uses WMA, right, which is a really bad encoder for audio. And they won't set it to defaults. And you set your defaults. You go to your site defaults, right? You use the embedded MP3 player,
สวัสดีครับ
right? And I
Up on.
save. Okay, maybe I need to do that. Right, let's see if we
On the
plays.
chat today. He's on the chat.
Okay, there we go. That's another tie. That's a minor.
Yeah, there's that P again.
Yeah, I
There's
can
the
hear
P
that.
again.
It's like he's saying it like a bloody sheep, like some bat.
He's saying,
So there's the
we'll just
words,
agree.
right? So there's the letters. So that's that one there, which is this letter here,
Bat.
b, right? BP, b,
Bat.
right, and the double, and then the a long vowel a, bat,
Yeah.
and it's ending with this one here, which is a T.
At.
Right, it's a D when it's in the front of the word, but it's a T when it's behind the word. Right, so
Both sort of right. We're both sort of right. It's in between.
yeah. Anyway, I did sort of say it was his birthday. He was Hasit Bat.
Get it better then.
Maybe I just said it a few times. I started to get my enunciation right as well. But anyway, so if you don't know,
You had too much Bert in it. You had too much Bert in it. I probably had too much Bert.
No, that Talkback Thailand is not Talkback Thailand live streaming. That's somebody else. Where's your spanner? Right,
Shit, hold on. I can get him. Where is he?
Well,
Hold
I
on.
said it, just check the channel. This is your channel. Like,
You gone? Have you deleted him or not?
no. Like, I've got to go find. Like, I don't normally play
Hold on.
around with this thing here.
I'll do this. I'll find him. Hold on. Get him.
Well, is that his channel? That's the thing. And I thought he's on the channel.
Okay, hold on a sec.
Unless, of course, he's
Could
changed
be him.
channels. Let me go and open my other window.
Could be him. I can't really.
Go to
You
channel.
can go to the. Yeah. Hold on.
Go to channel.
You can get. Yeah. You go to check this one, unfortunately.
It doesn't go
But he's
anywhere.
got
It
him.
doesn't.
One of the other spanners can get him. Yeah.
Well, don't give him a spanner. Like I said,
Fortunately, I can't go to his channel. It won't allow me to. So,
it's not allowing to go into the channel, right?
but I can delete him.
No, don't delete him. He hasn't said anything bad yet.
I don't think somebody would say that much, though.
Well, I said he hasn't
might
said
be.
anything bad, but I said
30 in the morning, I'd have killed you.
But unfortunately, Stephen's channel is already on my approved list, and I'll show you.
I think
I'll
it's
just go there.
That's probably why. Oh, I don't know.
So if I go in here,
I think it's him. Birthday, Stephen. Thanks, Stephen. You already said happy birthday to me.
yeah,
I
that's right.
don't
Like you
know.
said, he's doing all the right things. But I said it's one of those sort of things. As I said, I won't approve anybody in stream, right? Simply because of the fact that we had the other issues before. But if I actually go to my dashboard and I go to my thing, and I can show you the fact that Stephen's channel is in the approved moderators list.
The English looks a little bit good. It may not be him.
Yeah. So.
The English looks a little bit good for me. Well, he hasn't said anything bad yet. As he does, we'll zap it off. The English looks a little bit too good.
It's okay, so Thailand Unplugged is in my approved list.
So he said, "Fluck off, Stephen." He said, "Fluck off, Stephen." It might be him.
Thailand Unplugged. He's using his Talkback Thailand. Right. Okay. So that's the problem. He's using Talkback Thailand, not Thailand Unplugged. That's the thing. Thailand Unplugged is an approved moderator.
There's no spelling mistake, so it can't be Stephen.
It's all right. I'm just going to go and solve the problem now. I'll actually go to his channel.
Can't go to his channel.
Okay, I can go to his channel. Right, and I can go there. Copy that channel name. Control C. What's happened? Right.
Does it say? He
Dashboard.
says, "Yes, it's me."
Settings. Right. Community. Right, and I go to moderators. Right, I can go control.
Normally doesn't
V.
comment that frequently either.
That's it, and I can save that. He's now on the moderators list, not via the methodology we normally use, but he's there. So he is a moderator, but unfortunately it probably won't happen until we do a refresh of that screen, or until he actually logs out and logs back in again. But he's a moderator now. But again, whether that's the guy, I just made him a moderator. He's in the moderator list.
Well, he never comments that frequently, and his spelling's too good.
It's definitely there now.
Thanks. So you're saying I'm illiterate? No, not quite illiterate, but you just got some spelling issues. You spelled illiterate. That's definitely not him.
Maybe he got Grammarly.
That's too frequent. Stephen does a comment and then he has to have a rest for a week before he can write another one.
Actually, I'm trying to add it there. For some reason, I keep on sort of saying, Talkback Thailand live stream. It's just not actually adding the URL. There's something bugged with their system right now. Anyway, he's not saying anything bad, so he doesn't get a cancel. I'll make sure I fix it up. But actually, if he's using Talkback Thailand, no, not Talkback. If he's using his normal account,
Doesn't normally have live streaming on the end of it, though, does he?
no, he's the channel name seems to match up.
Streaming, I don't remember that. It's just Talkback Thailand normally.
Oh, there
by
we go.
itself.
It's actually coming through as it's right now.
Right.
It's obviously
That's
taken it now. It's now accepted the change. So there you go.
Oh, so it is him.
Yeah. So the one I put in the moderator list is obviously the right one. So that's the right channel. I went to the channel and cut the link and put it in there. Everything else. So it's all good.
Good. Okay.
I don't know why. What's wrong with this?
Good.
So something's not happening
Should
here.
spell it though.
I'm not actually getting the option to actually go to the person's channel. I don't know why that is. It's strange.
He said, "It's me, you horrible man."
That's all good. That's
Definitely
all good.
him.
Anyway, so it's all good. Now, we're not going to do any more Thai lessons because we can't agree on anything, and we're not Thai, so there you go. Steve Perrin, there's an extension for Chrome called Go to Channel, lets you do the same as before automatically. Is that really right? Is that right? Okay, I'll have to look at that one.
He already sent it. It's him now. I know it's him now because he sent me a thing.
Yeah, well, I put it in manually, so that was the safe way to do it. But as I said, he normally comes on with his other account. That's all, which is Thailand Unplugged. That's the one that's in the moderator list, not Talkback Thailand. But anyway, all good. And they did so Gaga Hoppings confirmed they removed that function from the channel. Exactly why, I don't know. I suppose because people kept on approving the wrong people, I guess, like we were doing.
Yeah, that's why I said I couldn't find it. Yeah.
Anyway, so apart from your cat birthday card, Stephen, and what else did you get for your birthday? What else did you get for your birthday?
Really strange presents. No, they were good. I got this big blue quilt, which I've got the bed when it's ready, and then I've got a shaver. I've got a ear and nose trimmer.
Oh, you got to have one of those these days. All those long hairs.
Ear and nose, they're very handy. You know, you get those hairs up your nose, you can't pull them out.
Yeah.
You don't notice them. You don't notice them until you're driving home from work, and you think, "Oh shit, they've been staring at this big white hair out of my nose all day." So these are very handy for that. So when you're looking at a revision,
if you're a teacher, it could be a problem. Yes, if you're face to face with students, it could be a problem. Personal.
Or even on a webcam. Imagine looking at that through the webcam
well,
for
I'm using
2
a soft
hours.
filter on mine because of the fact that the webcam itself actually has a wide angle. It's got a very wide 35mm angle, so it gets a lot more than until I get my studio, I've actually got to zoom in. Oh God. Those cats. I've got to zoom in. I've actually got the camera at 200%, so it goes a bit fuzzy. It's got a bit of a fuzzy effect.
It'll become a main part of the show now for at least the next year.
So, there you go. Stephen's saying you got to put a cigarette lighter up your snoz. Yeah, me. I got my good old trusty Victorinox here. And I can do my nose hair with my little Victorinox there. Don't need one of these fancy newfangled gizmos for nose trimming. God, you don't know where they've been.
I've still got 3 dots there.
Yeah, you've still got 3 dots.
But they're just for the reporting.
Yeah.
And shit. I'm gonna report you if you keep commenting, pretending you're Steve Thailand Unplugged.
pretending you're Steve. What's the weather in sunny Hobart like right now, Stephen? Let us know. Or even better still, jump on the Discord. That might confuse Stephen Monash. So
on Discord. What do you want me to do on Discord?
No, Stephen Clark. You can come on the Discord.
Oh, Stephen Clark. Okay.
But he's probably
I should invite Sonny on. Get Sonny on here. That'd be good to have him on the live stream.
We weren't supposed to mention those names.
Sorry.
That's right. I know we were having a good jet last night, but yeah.
Said it's sunny. I didn't mention anybody. I said it's sunny today.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's a mate of mine, so I
Always sunny in Philadelphia.
I only say good things about the people I like, and they'll probably get me. The trolls will hound me now.
Where's Philadelphia?
Philadelphia? We want to do a geography lesson now, do we?
No, it's in America. And which state is it next to?
What do you mean? Which state is it? You mean which state is it in?
Philadelphia is next to New York. New York State.
Or what's that other one across the road from New York? Chicago.
That's a little more than across the road. Jeez Louise.
Philadelphia, isn't it?
Which are the ones that look like they're very close to each other? 2 cities, Chicago and New York. I thought.
Brooklyn and New York.
Oh, okay.
What are we going to do?
Far away Chicago.
Philadelphia's in Pennsylvania. Chicago's in Illinois, which is up on the Great Lakes.
Talking about capitals here.
Okay. Halfway across the nation from New York.
we'll zoom out on Google Maps and we'll have a quick look.
We're as close to the geography as we are to Thai pronunciation. Out on two counts.
Right, so you got New York and you got
Failed.
New
How about
Jersey.
I failed?
Yeah, see, there's Chicago over there. That's okay. So it's
There's Brooklyn. So New York is actually in the state of New York, isn't it?
yes, New York, New York.
Yeah. And just across the river is what do they call it? New Jersey.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Jersey.
New
Jersey.
Jersey. It's a weird,
That one, do I
weird
get that
way they
accent
do it
right?
about-
New Jersey.
You got
No,
Connecticut.
you're nowhere near.
Then you got
Jersey.
Pennsylvania. And Chicago's over here in Illinois. So you got Pennsylvania,
Where
Ohio,
Dracula came
Indiana,
from, Pennsylvania.
Indiana and Illinois. So it's a fair way away from Pennsylvania, yeah.
Indiana Jones and Dracula came from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. And that's up by Detroit.
Pennsylvania.
And Washington's in Maryland. Is that right?
Oh, there we go. Look, see where Chicago is? There's Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just south of
Right
Milwaukee.
up in the middle where the lakes are, Warren.
Yeah, that's Chicago here, yeah.
And across the river is...
Across the river. There is no river there. That is a lake.
New York's over here. Pennsylvania's here. It's at least,
it's a long way away.
Ohio and Indiana are between Pennsylvania and Illinois, okay? So that's what we're saying.
What's San Francisco near?
It's on the west coast.
That's on the other side of the sea. There you go. San Francisco's in
They're
California.
the two I'm thinking of. Maybe I'm thinking of San Francisco and Chicago.
No, San Francisco's
Chicago's on the Great Lakes. San Francisco's all the way over.
You're spoiling the story.
What the hell?
Philadelphia's fairly close to New York. Philadelphia's in
I wasn't
Pennsylvania.
thinking of that one. I was thinking of two C's. Two C's.
Something is shooting our teleporter on Garoth.
Is it?
I just died there.
Did you?
Shooting a teleporter on Grot. Grief, man. What on earth are you referring to?
Something is shooting it, or somebody is shooting it.
Oh no, there's a drone attack on
Really?
Drone attack. Wow.
Anyway, that's completely game related. I can't see any cities that are close to each other that would constitute what you're talking
There are
about.
two. There's New York and what? New York and Brooklyn, you said?
Well, New York and Brooklyn.
one in New York are across the harbor from each other.
Is there a twin cities? Is there a 20? Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the M.
You're thinking of Minneapolis, St. Paul?
Yeah. Mississippi or something.
No, Minneapolis, St. Paul are the twin cities. They're across a river from each other.
Ah, that's what I'm thinking of. So where are they, Warren?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, St. Paul.
What's Minneapolis?
Across the river. Close to New York, aren't they?
No, they're closer to Chicago than New York.
That's why I said Chicago. That's why I said Chicago. Why I said
Minneapolis.
Chicago.
Where's
That's why I was
Minneapolis?
thinking
What place is Minneapolis in?
It's Minnesota, Minneapolis.
Minnesota.
In Chicago. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that's why I got
Okay,
confused.
well, let the American tell us the story. Okay. Where's
Up
Minneapolis?
Chicago, Warren.
Where's
Chicago.
Minneapolis? Where's Minneapolis? Oh,
Chicago.
Minneapolis, Minnesota, I believe.
there we go. Minnesota. There we go.
They're the two I was thinking of, yeah. The stories are sort of right.
Still can't see a twin city sort of indication.
Minneapolis, St. Paul, they're across the river from each other.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay,
thinking
so
of, yeah.
it's Minneapolis is a big, coming up in bold St. Paul's. Right.
Yeah.
They're calling it
Much smaller.
much smaller city inside a city.
Yeah,
Inside a city.
that's why I
When
said
you
two.
say much smaller, when you say much smaller, it's like saying it's, an F-150 smaller than a F-250.
You scroll out, it doesn't even get a mention when you scroll out.
But I did remember the concept. I knew those two existed, but I wasn't sure of the names. And then I said M, and then it reminded me. Yeah, okay. So it's not far from in the middle of Chicago, isn't it? And New York.
No, it's quite a ways.
Look at the map.
Right here,
It's
you're
300
stuck on
kilometers
this.
away.
I think it's 90% mountains.
No.
Really, Stephen. You might be an English scholar,
On the
but
Great
your
Lakes.
geography is absolutely screwed.
I never said I was an expert in geography. I think anybody on can name every country and every city in the world.
Shooting me.
And America's not very well known, so I don't know that you should know all their cities.
It's just a tiny little country, you know.
You got to give me some points for
Nothing to
Minnesota.
see there.
We'll
Give me some points.
We're not millennials.
Minnesota,
You don't
Minneapolis.
get points for trying, okay?
The story of having two cities opposite a river. That's I sort of.
We're
got
not
that
millennials.
right.
You're not getting any points for trying, okay? End of story.
Yeah. You don't
West-
you don't get a participation trophy there,
That's
Stephen.
it.
But I think I got a couple of points.
No,
Couple of
there
points?
were no points involved, other than the fact that you got Chicago right. Chicago is a city in the U.S.
But didn't I mention? I was the first to mention Minnesota. I'll play the tape back. Minnesota and Minneapolis. I
Well,
was the
Fort
first to
Worth
mention
and
that.
Dallas actually look closer than those two, didn't they? Fort Worth and Dallas.
Dallas is in Texas.
Yeah, Fort Worth and Dallas are down south.
They look like they're
Texas.
twin cities.
Yeah, Dallas, Fort Worth, DFW. That's the big airport in between the two.
How many states in America? 52.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I've got to get a point somehow.
Why don't I have inventory?
Don't know why,
So-
but I always say when people ask me how many states in America, I think of how many weeks in a year, and I get it fucked up.
DFW, the big airport. Yeah, there's.
Big place, America. Look at it.
Oh, it's tiny. What are you talking about? I've traveled over most of it. You like the DFW airport there?
Mm-hmm.
That's just a small airport.
San Francisco. I know that one. I know
I
that
don't
name.
see the planes. You've got to scroll right into this side to see the planes.
San Francisco. Where does that? How far is that? Where's that?
San Francisco's in California,
California.
west of
Right, the parking
Sacramento.
lot there is almost as big as the Sydney airport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking hilly place, San Francisco. Really hilly.
Yep.
Saw it in the movies.
Oh, it's hilly, all right. It and Seattle have a lot in common.
It's got a
Trying to get
theme-
back
it's
some
got a- it's got a
credibility
theme
here,
park
get something
railway
right.
Goes all the way around. Is that right?
Aeroplanes on the left.
Is it a theme park railway all around there, all the way around the outside?
Well, it's
Like a theme park
They have a-
railway?
it's not a theme park. It's the train system that takes you to your different terminals.
So it just goes around and around in circles.
Like
Yes,
a video
yeah.
game, actually. Looks like a video game.
It goes one one way, one goes the other. Kind of like Star Citizen. Very
Yeah.
very similar.
Very
I
similar.
thought Bangkok had some concrete. Look at this. Christ.
Mhm.
The hell.
Yes, America is a big place. Yeah, enough about geography lesson for today.
Okay, we didn't. Did we pass or not? I don't think we did.
Well, I haven't done geography. Yeah, enough about geography lesson for today.
Ooh.
What else we got
didn't-
there? We
did
got
we pass on
Thailand
something?
Unplugged. Stephen,
Can you hear me?
yeah, we can. You've got open speakers as well.
Hello, Steve. I was saying I was sticking up for you on the thing. I was saying it was.
You were, you're stabbing me in the back. I see you stabbing me in the back. I tried
In
it.
the back.
Called me an imposter.
Hello, Steve.
I vomited in coffee when you said that.
I've never seen your comments so much. I've never seen your comments so much. Then I checked the spelling and I thought, no, it can't be him.
Yeah, if you don't know, Stephen has a bit of trouble with the spelling. I think he either
did
types
today.
Ah,
Today,
folks, it's live. It's
going on
live.
today?
or somebody
What's going
swapped the
on
keys.
today?
Somebody swapped the keys around on his keyboard.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I had a Spanish keyboard. I got it cheap, Warren.
You got a cheap one.
Typing
Yeah.
fast too. He was typing fast. That's what threw me.
Yeah, I fell over and hit my head this morning.
That's what
Well,
it
there
was.
must be
But you get Dragon naturally speaking, and it's doing the typing for
I mean,
you.
all these spelling
Yeah, I
mistakes
know,
are
mate.
just an act.
Yeah, I got all that shit.
He hasn't really got bad spelling. He's just too lazy to.
So how's the cold
That's
weather?
actually true, Steve. It's, I just couldn't be bothered fixing things, so I just let it go like it is.
So we're right. You're lazy.
When I do stuff correctly, people think I'm an imposter.
So
But he was the first. He was the first online to say happy birthday.
is it cold down
Warren
there?
might have been close.
You got any snow down there yet, Stephen?
Yeah. Oh no, it's dropped down to about 4 degrees the other night.
Ooh.
Oh,
Way too
freaking
cold.
Hobart's. I'm up at the top, Lauren, up near Launceston and all that.
Yeah?
Really
I'm not
difficult
very
for him
far
to
from
fly
that.
back
Okay.
into Australia from
Oh,
Tasmania.
you have to say like that.
See, there's the map of Tassie.
Yeah.
The map of Tassie. That's why do they call it a map of Tassie? Why do
Separate country,
they
Bob,
call
because
why do they call a female's
Why,
genital
why,
region?
why do they call it a map of Sydney, Warren?
Why do they call a female's genital area a map of Tassie? Look at the shape.
It's close to Virginia. It's close to Virginia.
Where? Who's Virginia? What?
Virginia.
Virginia. Really?
Taint.
Warren TV.
Tasmania near Virginia.
Can we find
I don't
Stephen's
think there's
house?
any new ones, mate. There's a lot of second-hand ones.
So whereabouts is your house, Stephen? Launceston?
Tasmania near Virginia.
Are we
This
getting
little
He's
warm?
trying to
country up
dock me,
here.
Warren.
Hey?
This little
Go up,
country
go
here.
up, Warren. Go
Up?
up towards the water. Up.
Up towards
On the left,
lake
if you
here?
look
Yeah.
at the map.
Up,
Swan.
up. Up.
What? Up
It was
further.
on the left of that map, I think.
Yeah, down on the left.
Low Head, Stony Head, Wayworth, Weymouth.
I think he's in Stony Head.
Other end, Warren.
Other end.
That's what they say to him all the time.
No, the other way. Go left. Whatever's left is to you.
Right. Burnie, Somerset.
East or west?
Devonport.
The other way. Go the other way.
That's east.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. On the coast.
Okay.
Zoom in.
Coast.
Zoom in.
You said Launceston.
The shadow
Oh,
is.
It's actually near Devon. Hang on.
The blue
Burnie.
texture is.
Burnie. Have a look at Burnie up the top left-hand corner.
See, I told you on the left.
Northwest.
Burnie,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Why are
Get
you
your
on the east?
GPS out, Warren. Get your GPS out so you can get there quicker.
It's such a small town.
Turn
It's not even
left.
showing up yet. Burnie.
Roll left.
The other way, Warren. It's on the other side of the island.
Warren thinks you're in the river.
Oh,
Thinks you're in
nobody
the
lives
ocean.
there, Warren.
Oh, Burnie. Okay, so because I think it's a 30-second delay. Burnie, Somerset.
Yeah.
There.
Burnie.
Yeah.
There
There.
we go. I was going that way. You say no, go the other way. But I'd already gone the other way, and so I'm getting the.
Never you, is it, Warren?
never me. No, it's never me.
Yeah.
So there he is. There, can we find his house now?
You're going to dox me, are you?
They've got a beach they can go to. You allowed on the beach yet? Not you want to go to the beach in this cold weather. Why would you want
Beaches
to go?
all over the place, Warren.
But
That's where all
are
the
you
penguins
allowed-
come in there.
Are you allowed on the beach? At the moment?
That's where all the penguins come in, Warren, just
Yeah,
there.
that's right. Are you allowed
Beautiful
on the
eating.
beach though? We're not allowed
I
on the
like
beach in
them.
Sydney.
Tasmania's full of penguins. That's why they
What
can't make it
country
in the
is
Olympics.
All right.
What country is this? This is Tasmania.
Yeah.
Nice beach. That's a
Part
nice
of-
beach.
part-
Keep going left, Warren. Is it left for you? Keep going left.
It's all
And
right.
beach or
You
beach?
said there.
Burnie Airport, I lived here.
Burnie
The airport, right? What? Right in the airport among the airplanes, or did you just near the airport?
Just near the airport.
Get it
It's
in
called
sleep.
Wynyard.
Trying to actually spot the airport.
It definitely does look like the map of Tasmania, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's why they call it Tasmania. No, I was sort of saying why they
Full
call
of virgins.
a female's genitalia area looks like a map of Tassie because it looks like a map of Tassie.
Virgins
see
and
the
penguins everywhere. The virgins and penguins.
There you go.
Looking for your house, is he?
I'm looking for a straight bit of.
I don't know what he's doing. He's going around in circles.
Well, I'm trying to
Google
find a
Maps,
straight
that'll
thing
take
that
you
would look
directly
like an
to the-
airport, but I can't see a straight bit of anything that looks like an
Go
airport.
left, Warren. A fair way left.
Right, out near here. You can see a golf course. I can't see an airport.
Keep going. It's not a big air. Keep going, keep going, Warren. Keep going, keep going.
Bernie
Say
Airport.
sit
Geez,
pat.
nowhere near Bernie, is it?
I live on the coast, Warren. Get out
That's
of the
right.
bushes.
So Bernie's down here.
Probably there. We are now. There it is.
Windward, yeah, there we
You're
go.
like a fucking bloodhound. You are without a nose.
So Bernie Airport is in Windward. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Focus, son.
That's
Focus.
Australia
Zoom
for
in.
you. So Bernie's here.
Look, you got my house highlighted, you doxer.
No, I'm about to order an airstrike.
What's your address, Steve? What's your address?
About to order a drone strike. That's all. So we're
You sound real creepy when you ask that, Steve.
ordering a drone strike.
Tell me your address, Stephen. Tell me about it. Screen
Yeah,
at
in there
night.
somewhere, right?
There he
You're
is.
awake.
He's been photographed at the back of his house, naked, sunbaking. No,
No,
Thermonuclear
no,
wall.
I'm naked at the moment.
Why?
Oh, that's what Steve's going to naked.
Why not?
It's running late,
we
so I
really
couldn't
don't
have a
wanna
shower.
know. We really don't want to know, honestly. Anyway, a bit of fun for the, a
Why
bit
you
of
got
fun
no
for the
mirrors
day.
around you, Steve?
Just windows. Mirrors, just windows. My neighbour likes it.
All right.
Anyway,
Sure.
it's 2 hours. We've been
Download
on
of
for
the hubby.
2 hours.
Yep, good on you.
I've had
Bye-bye.
enough. We've had Stephen obviously join us here and to say hello. I'm going to try and catch up with Stephen tonight on his live stream if
That'd be nice.
Well, it's just that you called me. You're on during dinner time. You see. Last week I couldn't join
Oh, yeah.
because we went out to the
He
market.
demonstrated a colonoscopy on his channel last week.
Who?
He demonstrated a colonoscopy on his channel last week. Remember? I showed you how to do a colonoscopy.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes.
Well, that's what was
Drank
last
all the
week, well,
poison.
no, yeah,
Drank all
right.
the poison for you.
No, right.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Get the show on the road. Get the show off the road. Say goodbye to.
We haven't started yet. Have we started?
Have we started yet? I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
All right. See you later. Thanks for having us, Warren.
We'll stick
Cool,
around
crap.
here on Discord, have a chat
Is
afterwards.
that
but-
the real Thailand Unplugged? Is that the real Thailand Unplugged?
Sounds
No,
like it.
no.
But we're going to get out of here and play the closing
lucid.
screen and talk to everybody else next week. Peace out, guys. And the
At least
closing
you spelled
screen
words like
now.
encourage, cloning, you spelled Wazza, cigarette. All these words you spelled correctly, so it's all been in there. Contacted me.
You off now?
Oh, not quite.
Sorry.
Just look at the closing screen. Give the shout out to Patreon.
Right, hear the song, get off.
Show your support.
You e-begging, Warren.
There you go. Watch the video.
It's a tough time for Canada last month.
Mm.